on the structure and function of bed and breakfast. On the structure and function of bed and breakfast. A quiet study in boundaries, speech, and containment. Introduction. The fragment titled Bed and Breakfast is short enough to fit inside a single breath, yet layered enough to contain several distinct postures of thought. It opens in the language of petition, moves through negotiation, and closes with something resembling grace, though on second reading the grace may be conditional. There is no urgency in the tone, no raised voice, just a statement of terms and a carefully chosen limit. This essay approaches the fragment as a composed structure, built not to persuade, but to hold. It is not metaphorical. It is not abstract. It is something closer to architecture, a structure designed to allow certain things in, keep others out, and clarify the role of the one who occupies the interior. The goal here is simple: to explore how this structure works and what it accomplishes, using language from geometry, rhythm, and psychology, quietly and without adornment. Text under study. Bed and breakfast. It reads like this. Oh, dear Lord, save me from myself. I'll take care of the rest. If you want to check in every now and again, go ahead. Carry on. Be my carry-on guest. Part 1. Formal arrangement. The fragment is composed of 7 lines. This number carries no explicit symbolic weight here, but it does create a natural arc. 3 lines of address and declaration, followed by 4 lines that form a distinct shift in tone. Line count structure. Lines 1 to 3, invocation, self-request, jurisdiction. Lines 4 to 7, contingent hospitality, soft permission, closure. The first 3 lines are vertically stacked. They descend inward, narrowing the field of engagement to a single point, the speaker and his own internal volatility. The final 4 lines curve outward, extending a measured invitation to an unnamed guest. This structure resembles a 2-part form with a hinge at line 3. One might think of it as a folding object, half containment, half opening. Part 2. The initial posture, internal alignment. Oh, dear Lord, save me from myself. I'll take care of the rest. This first triad forms a descending sequence. Each line short, quiet, and precise. The tone is solemn but unadorned. There is no poetic flourish here, just careful phrasing. The phrase, "Oh, dear Lord," is worth attending to. The "oh" is not ornamental. It is elongated, a vowel shaped by breath. Its presence is necessary to open the line. The speaker begins not with an assertion, but with an opening. That opening is directed toward a familiar figure, not necessarily a figure of religion, but of presence. Dear Lord here is a stand-in for whatever agency the speaker believes can act upon the speaker's own will. The second line is the central hinge of the entire piece. Save me from myself. The speaker does not ask to be saved from the world, not from violence, danger, grief, or loss. The threat is internal. The request is for containment. This is not confession. It is an operational directive. The speaker is acknowledging a specific risk, the kind that arises from one's own hands, words, or choices. The phrase is narrow. It does not seek transformation, just restraint. The third line resolves the jurisdictional matter. I'll take care of the rest. This is not a dismissal, but a boundary. The speaker defines the scope of the request. Only the internal self requires attention. Everything external, the circumstances, the others, the consequences, will be managed directly. Note that the rest is a phrase with dual application. It refers both to other people and to the concept of rest itself, as in sleep, calm, the pause that follows. That ambiguity is left intact, and it strengthens the geometry of the structure. The 3 opening lines together create a triangular frame. Top point, the invocation, oh dear Lord, the open breath. Right edge, the inner appeal, save me from myself. Vertical descent. Left edge, the reassertion, I'll take care of the rest. Horizontal spread, the resulting shape is a containment triangle. Narrow at the top, expanding downward. Part 3. The hospitality clause. The final 4 lines introduce a different tone. The geometry changes here. The inward cone of the first 3 lines gives way to a curved opening. If you want to check in every now and again, go ahead, carry on, be my carry-on guest. These lines are polite. They are neither pleading nor demanding. They offer a possibility. The speaker allows for the presence of another, but only under specific conditions. Line 4, if you want to check in. This is conditional language. The guest may check in, but only if they want to. There is no summons. The permission is offered passively. Check in here functions on multiple levels. It evokes the act of entering a hotel or lodging space. It implies spiritual visitation, checking in on the speaker. It echoes the language of supervision, therapy, or confession. The phrase is soft, but it implies surveillance. Entry is allowed, but not residence. Line 5, every now and again. Here, the temporal terms are established. The visitor may return, but not often, not regularly. The frequency is unstated and intentionally vague. This serves two functions. 1, it keeps the space from becoming communal. 2, it signals a tolerance for guidance, not dependence. Line 6, go ahead, carry on. This line is deceptively simple. It functions as a release phrase, but carry on is a phrase with layered meaning. It may mean continue. It may mean make a fuss, as in don't carry on. It may signal lightness, as in carry on luggage. It is both permission and limitation. The speaker invites continuation, but with implied boundaries. Line 7, be my carry on guest. This is the final phrase, the signature of the structure. Carry on guest is not a known idiom. It is a constructed phrase, poised between the language of travel and that of hospitality. It creates an identity for the visitor. A guest with small luggage, a guest who will not stay long, a guest who travels light, a guest with no claim to permanence. This phrase is the final lock. The visitor may enter, but only with conditions. No heavy baggage, no extended stay, no implied authority. Part 4. Psychological geometry. In psychological terms, this structure serves as a kind of boundary ritual. It acknowledges the potential for internal instability. It offers a brief, precise request for help. Then it sets terms of entry, presence, and departure. The function is twofold. 1, containment of the self. The speaker identifies his own interior as the zone of greatest risk and makes a limited request. Stop me from doing harm I cannot undo. 2nd, regulation of visitation. The speaker permits interaction, perhaps divine, perhaps relational, but on very narrow terms. The tone is not hostile. It is formal. It allows presence without control. This structure resembles the kind of contract drawn by someone who has been harmed by uncontrolled closeness, or someone who, having harmed others in the past, now seeks to avoid proximity that might cause future harm. It is a house with one room open, but the key only fits a small door. Part 5. Rhythm and breath. The lines move in short, balanced steps. The longest line is 7 words. Most are 4 or fewer. This rhythm has practical effects. It makes the entire fragment readable in a single breath cycle. It prevents emotional escalation. It creates the feeling of speech spoken with precision. Not blurting, not rambling. The rhythm also suggests control. There is no drift. Each line concludes fully before the next begins. Even the final pun, carry on guest, is delivered without ornament. Part 6. Possible applications. Without assigning any label or categorization, one may note that this structure can serve a number of functional roles. As a personal reminder to contain what threatens from within, as a quiet refusal of dependency from external figures, as a closure ritual for periods of intensity, grief, or spiritual exhaustion, as a statement of terms in moments when surveillance, divine or human, feels suffocating, as a protective rhythm when navigating emotionally complex conversations. Its strength lies not in persuasion, but in configuration. It holds. Closing remarks. Bed and Breakfast is not grand in scope. It is local, quiet, interior. It names one point of danger. It claims one act of authority. It offers one key of entry, light, brief, conditional. It closes with hospitality, but not surrender. This is a structure built not to impress or unfold, but to hold shape under pressure. It does not ask to be admired, only to be allowed to operate in peace. The house is open, but the rules are clear. Carry what you can, stay if you must, but no bags larger than the heart can bear, and be on your way before the soul breaks open again.